My work is about bringing together the power of sport and storytelling to build equality, tolerance, and lasting peace in Rwanda as well as here in the UK. And it's something that basically has learned from the history of genocide in Rwanda, and we try to use that lessons to raise awareness, but also educate young people, and hope that they can be the generation that will contribute to the prevention of future genocides. Well, my MBA honor was awarded to me by Her Majesty Queen because of the work that I do as far as raising awareness of genocide against the Tutsi is concerned. And this is something I do within two of my charitable organizations, Football for Hope, Peace and Unity, that uses sport to empower young people, as well as Survivors Tribune, which brings together survivors of genocide in Rwanda, as well as other genocide of recent times, such as Darfur or Bosnia, to use our stories and empower young people in this country, as well as empowering ourselves through the stories that we tell. Because when we talk, when we share our stories, it also helps us to deal with the healing. Yes, I do have fellow Rwandan survivors among the program, the activities that I do, both within Football for Hope, Peace and Unity, as well as Survivors Tribune. For example, a young lady called Jo Ingabire Moz, she's a co-founder of Survivors Tribune. Mr. Celeste Pierre Rusenga Tabaro is one of the trustees. Jean-Paul Samputu, who's well known as a famous singer back home in Rwanda, is one of our senior advisors, and we have also quite a few other members who are speakers, and yeah, so we've got quite a number of survivors that are involved in many things that we do.
How do you feel when you hear that London, as it is, or UK in this case, has and shelters some genocide suspects? How do you feel as someone who has faced the genocide ordeal?
It's obviously painful. It's hard to know that a country that proud itself as a home of justice, home of human rights, can also be a place where genocide perpetrators find freedom, find shelter, and this is something that is obviously part of what I do, because when we tell the stories of survival, we also remind people that genocide doesn't end by the killings. Genocide has 10 different stages, and the last one is known as genocide denial. And usually this happens because of this kind of things, such as lack of justice, and yeah, it's an issue. It's an issue. It's something that is a little bit shameful for a country like UK to be able to shelter 5 genocide suspects, and I hope it will at some point come to an end. We are commemorating 70 years since the world came together and agreed to do everything as far as preventing the genocide happening again, and to punish those who are involved in the genocide. And the fact that UK is one of the countries that were sitting on the table when that convention was signed, and yet 70 years later we are experiencing such a shameful issue where 5 accused genocide suspects have been avoiding justice for more than 10 years. It's not something to be proud of. It's something very painful for survivors and everyone who really care about justice.
How do you see Rwanda's reconciliation process in the view of a survivor like you after nearly 24 years?
Well, reconciliation, it's a very complex issue, especially reconciliation after genocide. We Rwandans have incredibly managed that process for the last 24 years in a way that I don't think anybody ever thought would be possible, as it has turned out to be. As a survivor, I know it's not an easy thing to do, to be able to forgive those who exterminated your family, those who hunted you and wanted to kill you, yet today you're living side by side with them, sharing everything that the country has to offer. But that's the only way we can be able to genuinely achieve the prevention of future genocide. And that's why I personally believe that reconciliation is such an important part of rebuilding a new Rwanda. And what I do through my programs, reconciliation is very much at the center of that. But I also know that it's not an easy for everyone. There are so many fellow survivors who still struggles to understand how that can be possible. But we have tried everything for the last 24 years. The government has been incredible in encouraging and supporting this process, and the results are there to be seen. So we've seen many communities coming together, communities of survivors and those of genocide perpetrators who during the 100 days of genocide were completely broken apart, but for the last 24 years they've managed to mend their relations, and they've come together again. And like I said, it's a complex issue. You have to genuinely recommend the government that took that bold decision to even encourage it, because let's face it, politicians usually are interested in the popular decisions, and reconciliation was never going to be a popular thing among Rwandans, especially among survivors. But yet the government didn't want to go by popular things. They realized the importance of this particular process as far as rebuilding Rwanda and hoping to have a future that will not have a genocide again. I don't want to see or even think that my children could experience what my parents or myself have experienced before, and the only reason why this can be achieved is through genuine and proper reconciliation, and I believe we are on the path. We are doing everything that we could as Rwandans to be able to achieve that.
Mm-hmm. Talk to us about football. How do you use it as a catalyst to peace, and how do you measure the achievements?
Football has always been part of me from the young age. Ever since I joined Rayon Sport as a young boy of 10 years old, and went on to play for that famous football club for a number of years, and when the genocide against the Tutsi took place in 1994, football turned out to be the main reason why I survived it, thanks to the help and support that I received from my teammates and some other members of my football club. I was able to escape a number of threats that were coming towards me, and then since then that has given me a strong belief that sport and football in particular have the power to engage with young people, have the power to bring the community together in a way that little else can. And this is how I choose to use it as a tool for the reconstruction and the reconciliation process that Rwanda has been going on for the last 24 years. So yeah, we've used it here in the UK among young Rwandans. We have an initiative called Team Rwanda UK that basically brings young Rwandans together and become a medium tool to connect these young Rwandans with where they come from, and learn all sorts of information that are useful for them. We have worked in Rwanda to also use the power of football within schools and in the youth communities. It has been really helping us to transmit the message of peace building, the message of understanding and the understanding of the genocide in a much more simple way or terms, if I can put it well. So yeah, football has contributed to so much that we have done, and today we are very much involved in the storytelling programs that are taking place in the schools. But I can tell you, if it wasn't football, it wasn't sport that we initiated what we did in the first place, this particular program would never have been possible. And so yeah, there is more that you can achieve through sport and football in particular that is beyond what we normally see or know about football about. So we very much value the power for football to do good.
And just one last one. When are you receiving the award, and are you aware of any formalities related to the event?
I haven't been told when exactly the award or the medal will be given to me, but I know that traditionally this is something that takes place a few months after it has been announced. So I expect this to go to the Buckingham Palace and hopefully meet Her Majesty Queen or anyone else within the royals family who normally hand over those awards to the recipients.